ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is your guy, Mr. Fingers, coming to you all the way from the heart of Oklahoma City in Zagnib Central with this week's Rookie Spotlight. Ladies and gentlemen, this week's Rookie Spotlight is a gentleman who grew up not very far from here, well, in terms of as the crow flies, in Wichita, Kansas, where he attended Wichita Northwest High School. He was named first team All-Metro and first team All-State in his junior year, where he rushed for 2,082 yards and 36 touchdowns. The following year, his senior year, he wasn't done yet. He pulled a Usher. Watch this. And he ran for 2,127 yards and 29 touchdowns. Again, first team All-State and Wichita Metro Player of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Breece Hall. Well, you know where he went to high school. He wound up committing to and going to, oh my Lord, I can't even read now. Iowa State. I can't read. My glasses are horrible. I'm sorry, y'all. He wound up committing to and going to Iowa State University, where he was a two-time All-American. He was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. Now, for those of you that don't understand the significance of that, one of the things that the Big 12 has been known for, if maybe not necessarily winning national championships, is, and that's not a knock, it's just those guys beat each other up just as bad as in the SEC. They cannibalize each other every year. There's always a whole bunch of one-loss and two-loss teams. Offense. Teams like Oklahoma State, Baylor, this year, TCU, Texas Tech, all known for offense, ground and pound. So for that, dude, that is a really big deal for him to be named the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. And then he was drafted by the Jets in the second round of the 2022 NFL Draft, finished up his career at Iowa State with 3,941 yards in 36 games, where he scored 50 touchdowns. That means that for every season that he played, actually, he scored more than 15 touchdowns every season that he played at Iowa State. He played for 3 seasons and left after his junior season. Now, some of his vitals, he runs a 4.3940. That is insane speed. Has 40 inch vertical, and he jumps almost 11 feet on a broad jump. So for those of y'all that don't know what the broad jump is, that was used to be an Olympic event where they stood in one place and just jumped as far as they could. Not the long jump, not the triple jump, but the broad jump. Well, so far this season, 56 carries, 275 rushing yards, 17 catches out of the backfield, 213 receiving yards, and 3 total touchdowns. Now, unfortunately, his season was cut short with the ACL meniscus tear in week 7, so he won't be back this season. But he also but the thing about him is, and we know now with the medical technology that we have available with arthroscopic surgery, he's going to be as good as new with nothing flat. But one of the things that I like about him and watching his highlights, and this is the thing that I've used it about a lot of the running backs I've talked about, but this guy is another one. He's elusive. He can stop and go on a dime. He sees a hole, he sees an opening, boom, he's there. He's there before you even realize that's where he's going. Watched a lot of his college highlights at Iowa State. A lot of times the defender thought they had him, and you can see the look on the defender's face like, crap, he's going to my left, and I'm already drifting too far to the right. And once he's by you, he is by you. As far as catching out of the backfield, he's got hands like butter. Didn't have a whole lot of drop passes coming out of the backfield. As a matter of fact, during his time at Iowa State, he finished up with 734 receiving yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. Now, that's not a heck of a lot in 3 years, but that's an awful heck of a lot for a running back coming out of the Big 12, because they don't do a lot of passes out of the backfield. So this is a guy who, when he comes back, is 100% ready to go, will be an absolute beast. And we talked about earlier about the Jets being one of those surprise teams that we weren't expecting to do anything. And he was a big part. He's a big part of their success early in the season. And we are expecting big things out of this guy when he comes back. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this week's Rookie Spotlight, none other than the New York Jets, Breece Hall. I've been Mr. Fingers. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Delilah.
All right. So what do we end it? Anyone out there who's been watching Brees Hall, what do you think about him? Tina, what do you think about Brees? You think he's the one that's been helping the Jets?
I definitely do. I had him as my running back in fantasy football, and he was helping me out a lot until he got injured. So, yeah, I think he was there. He was, especially when Zach was injured, he was definitely helping to keep that offense going. So, um, I it's like what Anthony said. I mean, with today's technology, tearing an ACL, whichever part, I get confused at which one is MCL and ACL and all of that. He'll be back, and hopefully, he's just as good as he was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it used to be a time when you got an ACL tear and your season was done. And
Yeah.
we're talking
no,
easily
your
20.
career was done.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
your entire career was done. And we're talking as recently as 20 years ago. I know that's seems like a grand scheme of time, but we're talking that's how far the medical technology has advanced as far as arthroscopic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that particular ligament is very important. I used to work in physical therapy. That's what I know. I was a med student in college. That ligament connects to of uh, the back of whatever bone it is. It's at the bottom end, the tibia, the fibia. It connects to the back of the fibia, and then it crosses up to the front and connects to the front of the femur. So
Mm-hmm.
it's so if you're looking at it from the back, that's the front of your knee. That it's up here, so that's why it's called the anterior. The posterior is the one that connects to the back, and then the MCLs are along the sides of the knee. So it's very important because it helps you stabilize as you walk, and especially with all the running and the pressure that he puts on his knee, that one gets a lot of pressure. That one gets a
Mm-hmm.
whole rack of pressure. So yeah, but yeah, very important part of his knee. But the doctor should be able to fix that up like it's like brand new. As a matter of fact, a lot of guys that have had the surgery, especially if it's Dr. What's his James Andrews, who does a lot of the surgeries in the NFL. A lot of
Yeah.
those guys said their knees feel better post surgery than they did before.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think the way they, everything's improved so much is just, whenever we hear, oh, season ending, doesn't mean they won't come back. It just means that, just the
Mm-hmm.
season is just not, it's not feasible. But I agree. It's just the way things have improved a lot. Sometimes these used to be career ending, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
so yeah, I agree. I think we'll see Brees back. I mean, look at on the ladies show, we are talking about all these running backs that came back after injuries. Look at CMC. Like,
yeah.
cross my fingers, but like everybody was always wondering about him when he came back after all his injuries. He's been playing like a stud. King Henry's out there, so you're right.
Oh,
It's very
I'll give you the ultimate comeback. Alex Smith. I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah, for sure, for
that was
sure.
the same injury. Joe Theismann never played another down in the NFL. Alex Smith was at least
Yeah.
able to come back and finish the football season.
For sure. No, you're
So
right. I was just thinking about like running backs because they do get beat up, guys, because that's literally what they do, right? They're the ones rushing like through all these like defenders and stuff. That's why like we always look at like how long like these guys actually have, to win stuff, right? To win a Super Bowl and things like that. So, but yeah, I think we'll definitely see Brees again, and hopefully like at full capacity and like
yeah,
ready to do what we know he could do. So.
I will say this.
Um, yeah.
I will say this. It's if he had to be injured, it's better that he did it now in his rookie season,
Mhm.
rookie maybe his first season, as opposed to a guy that's been in the league for like 5 or 6 years. You
Right.
know what I mean? I mean, he'll still come. That guy, that older, that veteran will still come back, and he'll still
Oh, yeah.
be able to do. But the flexibility and the ligaments won't be quite the same. So if he had, it's horrible that it happened. But if it had to happen, it's good that it happened now.
Good. That's a good point. And
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.